Hey you! Do you know you play Valorant wrong and your poor performance is not your fault? That's right! You have been taught incorrectly for so long that you shouldn't be blamed for being so bad. The main reason for your shortcomings isn't because of your lack of skill or even your teammates. It is the mainstream media and its never-ending lies. For years you have been brainwashed into thinking Valorant is a tactical shooter and you have been playing the game as such. But I am here to stop the spread of fake news and tell you that's a bunch of malarkey. Valorant isn't a shooting game, you silly goose. It's a slavery simulator. Look, if anyone took some time to do their own research, everyone would clearly see that playing defense on Valorant is just training for slave masters. Here are the facts. In its simplest form, Valorant is a game where you buy guns and tools to control people and stop them from doing what they want. And if that doesn't sound like a master oppressing his slave, you need to stop taking adrenochrome. Think about it. The gameplay for defenders tests your ability to oppress people. You see someone rushing, gun them down. You see someone saving, keep them poor. You see someone look different than you, build a wall. And if you still don't believe Valorant is a slave-free simulator, explain how this is not an ability that chains slaves to an area. And wow, look at all these interesting Valorant ads. It's weird that Riot just keeps casually detaining and restraining people every fucking ad. Oh look, a minority is drowning. That's not weird at all. Okay, so now that you understand what type of game you're playing, you must be thinking, how can I win as a slave master? And it's really easy. All you need to do is get your slave and whip. Weaponize human emotions properly. Let me explain. Slaves make hundreds of difficult decisions, but they don't realize that every choice they make is just whipped into them. For example, have you ever got a pick with an op and every following round looks like this? Congrats, you just whipped your slave. See, your slaves made the choice to avoid fighting an op, but in reality, your slaves never had a choice to begin with. Any good master will tell you that every impactful choice a slave makes is just an illusion. Choices aren't made by dumb slaves. They were secretly determined by a chosen few, and you are one of those few. So how do we control every slave choice in the game? It's simple. All you do is control slave emotions, because emotions drive action. So winning defense in Valorant is just getting your slaves to feel a certain way, and that is where the whip method comes in. By whipping, you will fabricate experiences for your slave that associate with an emotion, and by forcing a specific emotion, you will control a slave's decisions. To really hammer it in, you need to understand how it feels to get whipped. So I want to slow down, switch gears, and let's do a foreplay. You'll be my filthy little slave, and I'm gonna be your naughty slave master. And I'm gonna show you some videos and keep note on how you feel.
Come.
So how was it for you? Did you feel a little afraid? Confused? Horny? Congrats. That means you were just whipped. And now that you've been whipped, I can make you do whatever I want. But instead, let's explain how you can incorporate whipping into your own game. The best way to start whipping is to figure out what you want your slaves to do and which emotion you need to force to get the correct slave reaction. For example, let's say you win every time a slave peeks into you. So what can you do to make a slave choose to peek you? That's right, we need to get them bricked. In a 2023 study, dong size is strongly correlated to the amount of times the W key is pressed. So let's punish your slave by getting him rock hard. And we'll do that by showing the most irresistible thing in Valorant, an easy kill. And let's sweeten the bait by getting your thickest master to jump peek an angle. Everyone knows that jump peekers are just nerds who can't shoot. So once the slave sees the easy kill, they'll push him. 100% guaranteed. So another common situation you'll face as a slave master is when your slaves keep pushing a site you don't want them to hit. How can you make them decide that that is a bad idea? For this case, all you need to do is create fear in your slaves by flexing your overwhelming strength. When slaves are faced with the threat of death, they will avoid confrontation at all costs. So let's abuse this knowledge by showing your slaves that all the boys are on site. Once your slaves notice the amount of people they're pushing into, they'll decide to run away. So immediately after getting your presence known, get all the masters and rotate to another site. Your slaves will think the new site is weak and push it, 100% guaranteed. But do you know it's not 100% guaranteed? Our offer code from our sponsor, Audible. Audible has thousands of audiobooks created by the greatest minds the government has ever produced. So sign up today using promo code SLAVESUCK to get your first month of Audible free. Audible, we support slavery.